I'm Max Kampelman. Today, the 13th of October 2025, we celebrate the end of the conflict between Israel and Hamas. It's a story of a US President, Donald Trump, and his talented diplomats bringing about exceptional progress in the Middle East. I want to present to you another truly remarkable story that took place about 40 years ago, where the wishes of US President Ronald Reagan and the capable diplomacy of Ambassador Max Kampelman brought about life-changing relief for millions. For 30 years, I had an enjoyable pen pal relationship with USA Ambassador Max Kampelman. It started as I was building up my art career in Stuttgart, Germany. We met a few times, and in 2010 was this interview in his office within the Frederick Frank law firm in Washington, D.C. During the hours-long interview, Max told us this never-before-published story, which I like to show you now.
This is really a fascinating story. Now, what I'm giving you has never been published.
Ambassador Max Kampelman was appointed by President Ronald Reagan to be America's chief negotiator with the Soviets in the 1980s, during the final years of the Cold War. After 3 years of successful negotiations in Madrid, Max and his American team were on the verge of winning every demand they had laid out to the Soviets on the first day of the meetings 3 years before. During his final break back in Washington, D.C., just before returning to Madrid to conclude negotiations, Max had just finished his report to President Reagan in the Oval Office. They said their farewells, and Max was almost out the door. And then President Reagan called Max back into the office.
So we get ready to leave. And as we get to the door, he calls out, "Max, come on here back a minute." So I come back, and he opens up his desk drawer, and he takes out a sheaf of papers this high, a very high sheaf of papers, gives them to me. "See what you can do about getting these people out of jail." Wow. How he had that list, you may remember during that period, the Jewish community was very active, free the Jews from the jails. You may remember that. A lot of Jews were arrested, a lot of people were arrested. And so Schultz and I leave his room, we sit down next to his secretary outside, we look at the list, and we see it is these victims, this really high list. So, I fly back to Europe, and I got that list. I don't know really quite what I'm going to do. As far as I can see, Schultz and Reagan say, "Do what you can." I get a hold of not the top man, but the number 2 man, who's a KGB general and who speaks English. And I leveled with him. I told him exactly what I've just told you. And I said, "It's clear to me," Sergei, that was his name, Sergei Kondrashev. "It's clear to me that my instructions were, you don't end the meeting until you get some of these people out," something like that. He exploded, as he had every right to explode. New demands all of a sudden at the end. He was eager to get home too, So I said to him, I said, Sergei, you can get as angry as you want to get. We are not ending this meeting until that's my instruction from the President of the United States. And I said, then you have a duty. It's not your decision. It's a decision of your bosses. You have to give this to your boss as a message to him from the President of the United States, which it is. A few days later, he calls me on the telephone. Got to see you. So he has an answer. I am authorized to negotiate with you, which is really what we want. But there are certain conditions. So what are the conditions? He says, only 3 Americans must know about this. I had told him about Schultz, Reagan, and Kampelman. We are the only 3 who know about it. Only 3 Americans must know about this. Next. None of your friends must know about this, meaning the Allies. None of our friends must know about this. And he then says, I am the only Russian you can talk to about this. What do you mean, only one Russian? I'm the only Russian you can talk to about this. That clearly tells you the foreign minister doesn't know about it. I mean, you know, my only authority, he says, is to put people in an airplane in Moscow and let the airplane land in Tel Aviv. Period. The Israelis have told us that more than 1 million Jews were released. More than 1 million Jews. Never been published. So this meeting ended to be a very, important meeting. Very important meeting.
Max, thank you very much for this nice interview.
You're doing well, I gather.
Yeah, and I will do my best to make all this known. Yeah.
Yes, you seem to have a talent for that.
Yes, thank you. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, Kampelman Academy. Give this video a like and please let us know what you think in the comments section.